Alright guys, so we're out here in West Virginia today. It's a great day for this. We are going to be torture testing this AR-15. It is a Centurion Arms lower and handguard, and then the barrel and the upper are both Palmetto State Armory. We're going to go ahead and put this thing through the ringer and see how much abuse it can handle before it gives out, if it gives out. One thing that I'm interested to see, there's always the debate about the screwed gas block instead of being pinned. I did put some Loctite on those screws, but I am interested to see if, with all of this abuse, if it shifts or comes loose or anything that would compromise the integrity of the rifle. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so one of the first tests we're going to do is the drop test. So we've rigged this paracord up to the gun. We're going to raise it up about 20 feet and then just drop it. Alright, so aside from being a little dirty, and it did fall on a rock over there, it all looks good still. There's a few scratches on it, but nothing that's going to prevent us from shooting it. So let's go ahead and load up a mag here, put our ears on, and we're just going to fire a few shots to show that it's functioning properly. On to the next test. All right, so for our next test, we're going to go ahead and run it over with my Hummer here. We have it stationed under the front tire with a mag in it. So we're going to go ahead and run it over, and then I'm going to go ahead and charge it, load a round, and we'll fire it and see how it does. All right, so as you can see, the dust cover got bent, so that's not going to be closing anymore. And aside from that, just a few chips out of the aluminum on the upper receiver. The handguard still looks pretty good. I don't see anything too bad on it. So let's go ahead and load up a round and fire it. Let's go ahead and put our ears on. All right, so what we're doing here now, we've got the drone up there. It's going to also be following us as we drag the AR. Now, we did this once already, and it did get, as you can see, a little bit dirty, but overall not bad. So we're going to go ahead and do it again and actually get the drone to follow us. So, all right, here we go. So we just finished dragging it, and it definitely got dirty, maybe a little bit scratched up, but functionally things look good. My only concern is that there is a barrel obstruction here. So what we're gonna have to do is go ahead and clean that out, and then we'll be right back to go ahead and do a test fire on this. All right, so we're back. We got the barrel cleaned out. There was quite a bit of dirt in it. As you can see, it's in the 1913 rails as well. So we're gonna go ahead and load it up, just fire a few rounds, make sure everything's still working great. All right, so the next test is the shotgun test. So we have some bird shot loaded up in here. We're gonna go ahead and shoot it. We have the rifle right there. We're gonna go ahead and record it on this camera just to get the close-up effect so we can see it. So let's go ahead and do it. So that was after the shotgun blast. As you can see, it really didn't do too much damage, aside, I guess aside from this here. We have a dented portion of the handguard. But all in all, it still looks functional. So let's go ahead and load some rounds into it. Good. All right, so we just finished the shotgun test, and the gun still functions perfectly fine. A few cosmetic issues, but aside from that, I mean, it's going to still run. So the next phase of this test is we're going to shoot it with a 37mm flashbang. So what we have here is we have a burn barrel, and we're just going to place it in there. There's a hole in the top of it, so then we're going to shoot the grenade down inside of the barrel, and then get away as quickly as possible. You ready? So we just threw a flashbang into that barrel, and I mean, it is pretty dirty, but everything looks pretty straight. The action is still smooth, no problems there. I mean, even the plastics are fine. Now, that's not a horrible round, but I mean, it was a contained explosion. So let's go ahead and see if it fires. Good. All right, so we are at the final stage of our durability test or torture test, whatever you want to call it. What we have here is a pound of tannerite placed underneath the rifle, and we have the rifle just sitting on top of some old plywood. So we are going to go ahead and get it a safe distance, shoot this, and get it on video. Let's see if the rifle survives, number one, and if it does, will it function? Here's the damage. The gun looks okay though. Let's take a look at it on both sides. Don't see anything that would make it unshootable. There is some slight rail misalignment right here, but it does have this retention tab on both sides that's both a separate piece for the gas tube and the handguard itself, which is one of the reasons why I love Centurion arms. All of their stuff is engineered very well. So let's go ahead and throw some rounds in this thing and see if it still works. Now, we did check, and I mean, everything does seem to be functioning properly. I don't see anything out of whack. So let's load up a round, and there you have it. All right, so it's the day after we conducted our torture tests, and I wanted to take a closer look at the damage that was endured during that, throughout all of the different phases that we put it through. So if we go ahead and I guess start on the port side, we have the damaged dust cover, and I think that it's worth noting that when we drove over with the Hummer is definitely heavier than most other vehicles. I think it comes in close to 5,000 pounds. So I think that what happened was the front tire, as it went over, it popped the dust cover partially open, and then when the rear tire hit it, it just crushed it. So, but that's not a big deal. This is a $10 part, easily replaceable. These scuffs that also occurred during that portion of the testing, I can get those out in the blast cabinet. So if we move along on this side, you can see there wasn't really much on this side, with the exception of the top rail. It's just slightly, very slightly out of alignment. I mean, you can barely tell. So that's to be expected when you put a pound of explosives underneath of a gun. I think that would happen with anything. So moving on to this side, you see we have a lot of indentations from the bird shot. And another thing that wasn't noted in the video yesterday was how close we were standing with the shotgun. I believe that we were roughly 12 to 15 feet away, and you can see that here because this is the first evidence of bird shot hitting on this side, and that's the furthest that it went. So that's probably about roughly 1.5 feet. So we were definitely close, and that had a major impact on the damage that was sustained from it. And again, it is mostly cosmetic, and on the receivers, I think I'll be able to get that out. I think I pointed this out yesterday. There was the dent on the handguard here, and also up here, and that was really because of how close we were standing with the shotgun. So I think that pretty much covers everything. You know, I noted in the intro yesterday was the gas block being just a screw-on type, set screw type, without any dimples in the barrel. You can see that I knocked out the standard front sight post and put the micro gas block on. And you know, a lot of people do not like the idea of just having 2 set screws, just putting tension against the barrel as a way to set the gas system. And I was always, I wouldn't say fully confident, but I've never had an issue with it. And so I think that this test proved that is, I think that it's totally fine just to have it like that. Obviously, if you have the means of dimpling the barrel, that's ideal, but this proved to hold up to a lot of abuse, and I think that that's very telling on how durable these guns are. One last note on this video: we are not paid or sponsored by Centurion Arms or Palmetto State Armory. We just liked the products and wanted to see how they would hold up. None of this stuff was given to us. We paid for everything ourselves out of our own pockets. So I think that that's something important, because you never know, internet trolls and whatnot. But anyway, please like and subscribe this video. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. All right, thank you.